Welcome to the heart of Raleigh for a huge women's college basketball matchup. NC State back in the top 25 rankings. The Wolfpack rolling, winners of 6 straight. Boston College at 1-2, struggling against tournament teams, but want to prove they belong in a loaded ACC. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us here at Reynolds Coliseum with the All-ACC guard Kai Crutchfield. I'm Evan Budrovich. Speaking of guards, Boston College has 4 guards, all with 80 games or more of experience. NC State's guard trio among the best in the ACC. Kai, how did the Boston College Eagles pull the upset today?
Boston College needs to tighten up on those turnovers, limit those turnovers. They need to play with better rhythm on offense. They're a fast-paced team with veteran guards, and they have more than the ability to be able to play with these big teams.
If the Eagles are going to fly, Eagles fly. They need a former state transfer, Dontavia Wagner. How does she cook today?
Dontavia is everywhere, and she gets it done. She's ability to knock down the open three and also hit that knockdown mid-range there and attack the basket. She's done a great job of facilitating and being there for her teammates on all levels and all sides of the floor, and she's done a great job with that throughout this season. Not to mention, she's top 10 in the ACC for steals.
Elite offensively, really good on the defensive end. And Kai, how about the guard tandem of James and Rivers? What do they bring for the Pack?
I mean, it's exciting to see these two in the backcourt. Sanaya Rivers and Isaiah James are like yin and yang. James brings that explosive scoring and playmaking ability, while Rivers complements her and with her versatility and knack to make those big plays on both ends of the floor. They are vets, and they understand the flow of this game while keeping their teammates involved and engaged.
Among the best in the ACC in the preseason. And if you like guard play, Kai, this is the matchup for you today on ACC Network Extra.
Veteran against veteran. There's no better way to do it. There's a lot of experience on both ends of the floor. You have different levels and different types of players on both ends of the floor, so I'd be curious to see how they match up and who matches up with who.
NC State had the bye this week, their last game scoring 83 against Clemson. Boston College has battled Duke in the midweek, and Joanna Burnaby-McNamee, a complete lineup change for the Eagles. We'll touch on that here in Raleigh. And it's the Wolfpack who start with the basketball. 31st all-time meeting. The Pack and the Eagles. 2 years ago in this building, Dontavia Wagner went off. A double-double with 20 points in a rare BC win here in Raleigh. An early touch for Tilda Trieger, true freshman, and a Sweden underneath. This is Sanaya Rivers with a new hairdo out of the holiday break and a quick bucket with the red hair.
It's good for Sanaya to attack that basket. They're going to play her at different levels for her to knock it down, but there she was patient and got the ball in the bucket.
We noted the lineup changes. Athena Tomlinson, only her 2nd start. This is a young group. Nene Njai, her 5th career start, along with Wagner, the returner. As Rivers is red hot, burning flames from her head.
She's keeping up with that ending, how she played against Clemson last game, knocking down those threes and coming in clutch for the Wolfpack in the 4th quarter.
Or like Sonic and Knuckles. Look at that hair, feeling a 5-0 start for the Pack. Guarding Nene Njai, the Senegal product. Here's Wagner's 3. That's an added aspect to her game, but a miss this time. And a travel, little friendly fire between Hayes and Brooks.
Sanaya Rivers, Isaiah James first off with the baseline pass. She fakes out the defender there, putting her Boston College defender on the skates a little bit and knocks it down for the Wolfpack.
Red hot start for NC State, who did not play on Thursday, had a couple extra days off. And they focused on defense. Westmore was not pleased, giving up nearly 80 points against Clemson. Here's an up-top look for Taya Sidbury, and that's way off. Fight for the boards, and Rivers comes out with it. But then a bad pass and a turnover. How do you handle this pressure now if you're NC State?
It may be that post-Christmas jitters just a little bit. I mean, in that situation, Sanaya knows how to bring the ball down the court. You know, keep it yourself, get the offense going, and get them settled down.
The new starting 5 for BC includes Athena Tomlinson and Nene Njai. Typical starters, Andrea Daly and Tiana Todd come off the bench tonight. So Wagner goes into the bag. That's a miss. Njai on the rebound, throws it away. This Boston College team, you noted the turnovers, 26 and 24 turnovers their last 2 games.
It's crucial for them to stay patient on the offensive end of the floor. They are a pretty good shooting team. I mean, Dontavia Wagner is shooting 50% from the field this year.
Here's Westmore starting 5. Zoe Brooks has emerged as an elite scorer in year 2, fresh off an all-ACC freshman year. Brooks now into a crossover. That's a miss. Trieger, the offensive board, the lone freshman in the starting 5. An NC State team that actually is among the best in the league in bench points this year as the starters miss again. Now Tomlinson pushing tempo. Tomlinson at 5'5", generously listed, but an elite playmaker. Sidbury underneath faces a lot of pressure. She's the Utah transfer, won a Pac-12 title for the Utes. Nice crossover, Njai to the bucket. There it is, good start in transition.
That's a great bucket there for Njai. Being patient in the offense, she saw that the weak side was wide open. That strong side was being flooded, and she took it with the left hand.
It's the one-on-one buckets that make Boston College really good. The elite guard players. Speaking of which, Hayes draws a blocking foul on Tomlinson.
Eagles foul number 0, Athena Tomlinson.
Boston College is really patient here. Again, Njai she's icing that screen, making her go back to the baseline. It's good for her to attack that left side, opening up the floor for her teammates.
When you say icing that screen, what do you mean?
The defender jumps to the top, so it forces her to go that one way to that left-hand side.
Because all I think of is fire and ice from Chris Corciani here in Raleigh back in the late 80s, early 90s.
We might see a little bit of that here in this game.
There's been a lot of tenacity in the first 3 minutes. Here's a jump ball, and possession goes back to Boston College. With Coach Joanna Burnaby-McNamee making this lineup change today, what does this say about Boston College?
That they have a lot of depth on their team, and that she trusts her players. I mean, and then the ability for them to trust each other. It shows a lot about that team, and then being able to find that chemistry, find that rhythm offensively and defensively.
Green, Njai, and Tomlinson have a combined 6 starts. This is a young group as Sidbury comes up short. Here's Isaiah James. Has Brooks. Good look. Brooks in transition. And how about the Pack pushing tempo?
That tempo is the pace that NC State usually plays at. They rely heavily on their guards, and that was make them successful throughout this season.
The Pack in this 6-game win streak have been great. Meanwhile, Dontavia Wagner gets on the board, a former member of NC State, circa 3 years ago. And talking to Joanna Burnaby-McNamee this week, her growth as a jump shooter has been impressive to watch.
She says she added that offensive confidence to her game, and she's working on that and working on that consistently in the offseason.
Wagner nearing 1,000 career points in her BC and NC State tenure. As James comes up short for 3, Rivers the board. Great spin move, and Rivers is red hot with 7.
I love to see that confidence from Sanaya Rivers as we go into deeper and deeper into conference play.
Meanwhile, Taya Sidbury almost calls bank. And to think they're usually closed on Sundays. Rivers the other way. Nice look. Trigger the and 1. And Sanaya Rivers can do no wrong here in Raleigh.
She's being a playmaker right now, offense and defense, rebounds, everything. You have to also give kudos to the freshman Trigger there for running down in transition offense. She gets down there into the paint, gets the paint touches, goes up strong, and gets the and 1.
Only the second start of the young Tilda Trigger's career at a sweep, and clearly making an impact for Westmore.
A lot of times when Trigger's comes in, she makes up for those minutes. It may not be a lot, but she does take that time. She takes advantage of that time.
In Trigger's first career start, 6 points, 3 rebounds in the win over Clemson. And it's been a rotating cast of characters. Mallory Collier's had the start. Lorena Wu's a couple of starts. But it's been Trigger here in the month of January. Here's Tiana Todd off the bench and a quick miss. Offensive board for Kennedy Jackson, the Charleston Southern transfer. Jackson powers down low. That's no good. And Brooks with the board. NC State top 5 rebounding team, but it starts at the guard position on the glass. Here's James wiggling through and hits it. Oh my goodness, what an offensive start. 6 of 9 from the field.
Isaiah James looked like she was toying with the yo-yo there as she got a hand on the ball, but being able to stay composed and keeping that up and then finishing with the lefty bucket there for the mid-range. I mean, look at that with the and 1. Her feet might have got that ball up a little. She did a little flutter kick there.
She was dancing with herself after that bucket. You got to celebrate moments like that. A 6-0 Wolfpack run here as we hit the halfway point of the first quarter. Here's Kayla Ivey, second leading assist giver in the ACC with her Christmas kicks on today. Little red and green combination.
I wonder what she got for Christmas.
The gift of a lot of assists, 5 per game for Ivey. Right now, though, BC struggling to shoot 2 of 10 early. So Jackson fires. That bounces out. Here's Zoe Brooks, who has 6 assists in her last 2 games. Brooks wants another, finds Trigger, and adding to the assist total. What impact has Brooks made on this offense?
She's been a spark. She comes in and she does what she needs to do, whether that's dishing the ball or getting to the bucket. In that situation, the help side defender came over and Trigger was ready to put it back up.
Zoe Brooks playing like an all-ACC player this year in year 2, and what a response for Tiana Todd, the native of Canada. Grew up an hour outside of Toronto. And she played for the IMG national team. Really good shooter.
Shooting 47% from the three-point line.
That's the best in the ACC. Here's a transition play. Daly up ahead. Jackson takes her time, and that's no good. The miss for Savannah Samuel. And now Rivers comes out with it. Rivers dishes. Hayes goes in. Traeger the beneficiary. Look at the ball movement. 5 assists on 8 buckets.
And Trigger is just being a post presence there for NC State. They're doing a great job of dishing it to her, and that really spreads out the offense for NC State when it comes into conference play. Isaiah James here comes up with the mid-range. When she comes with that mid-range, you're going to find her doing that more often to get to that sweet spot, that bread and butter.
A red-hot start for NC State, and all time in this series, the Wolfpack have dominated 9 of the last 10. Now, remember, the last meeting here in Raleigh, Dontavia Wagner went off 23-10. That game was real tight until the end, and then BC pulled away.
And not to mention, Dontavia Wagner is the only player in BC history with at least 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 200 steals. That just says a lot for her character and her leadership on this Boston College team.
Wagner played 7 games here at State as a freshman 4 years ago, and her growth's been impressive. Multiple-time All-ACC now. But early in this game, Kai, it's the 5 assists to the pack as opposed to only 1 for BC.
NC State's doing a really good job at facilitating the ball to each other and not just giving up that one pass before a good shot before an even better shot.
Here's Savannah Samuel operating the rock. BC is a team in the losses to Louisville and Duke. Double the turnovers to assists. So one-on-one ball. Todd is off. Offensive board, Wagner. Kayla Ivey, who trails just Hidalgo for the assist lead in the ACC, misses. Offensive board, and more traffic underneath for Jackson. Here's a jump ball, and it goes to NC State. Coach Mack noted the loss to Duke, just 2 points in that second quarter. Said we cannot be competitive scoring that little. And really in this first, it's been hard to find offense here in Raleigh.
And her takeaways from that game is just the urgency. They didn't play with much urgency. She wants to see those leaders step up, those veteran guards step up throughout this game.
Here's Isaiah James continuing to be a leader. Over 100 games here at State. She knocks in another 3. That's a team best 28 threes for NC State. Look at that field goal difference. Way in front of the pack. Rivers the steal. Transition pass. And James in the layup. How do you stop this pack team when they're moving this quick?
You can feel the chemistry and the energy that they're playing with right now. I mean, she bounced that pass from maybe the paw of the toughie, and it ended up at the three-point line.
And another BC turnover. This is a 15-3 run, all field in transition.
Sanaya Rivers, just court vision here. You know, the vision that NC State is having right now is what they're going to need when they go deeper into conference play. They had a nice break, and they got up those cobwebs the first couple possessions, but now they're playing amazing.
For a team with an early bye, this State team looks like they're rolling offensively.
They're coming off of really good games and wins that they've strung together previously before, you know, the start of the new year.
Beat a really good Clemson team who's now 2-1 in the ACC, but putting up 83 in that game. And Clemson just beat Cal this week, so they're having a really good year as Brooks rattles out the jumper. Defensive board for Taya Sidbury, the 5th-year senior. Good luck to Athena Tomlinson. Extra pass. Wagner. Now, that one rolls out. Spoke too soon. Rivers wants another look. Instead, lost it off her leg. Good defense, Wagner. Back comes Andrea Daly. Daly to the bucket. That jumper rattles out. Defensive board, no good.
That's what you're going to see here for NC State and Boston College. They both like to play at that fast pace. NC State's knocking down a lot of their shots. On the flip side of that, Boston College isn't knocking down as much, but I don't see that happening that much further down this game.
3 of 18 start as Maddie Cox subs in for good minutes for Tilda Trieger in her second career start. Here's Athena Tomlinson, who grew up in California. Kicks it outside. BC settling for a lot of jumpers early in this game. Some more, an attack of the bucket, no good. Wagner the board, no. Third chance, Wagner. What a beast in the post. Good second chance look.
And that's the type of energy that you're going to need from Boston College to get them back in this game. Those second chance points is what they need best. As Madison Hayes knocks down the three confidently from around the arc, I love to see how she's expanded on her game with that three-point shot.
Hayes has had a good year in the conference shooting threes. 19 points against Clemson. Continues that today.
NC State had a pretty good spread as far as points against
Watch
Clemson.
Rivers go. Draws the blocking foul. It's interesting when Sinai Rivers flips that switch and becomes offensive minded. She looks like one of the best players in the country.
I mean, her length on top of that, her athletic ability, and just her basketball IQ in general. When you mix all that together, it's like she has to get into that sixth gear, and you can see it clearly when she gets into that sixth gear.
And it's the highest scoring first quarter for the Pack this year. Shooting 68% as a team. No Christmas jitters after 5 days off. Maybe at the free throw line, the only thing slowing the Pack down today.
The free throw line is where NC State has struggled this season, and I'm sure Coach Moore makes sure that they shoot a whole bunch of those in practice.
Entered the game 63% and 2 of 6 today. Back in the hands of Nene Njai, who's been really good off the bench. 10 points a game. One of the top bench scorers in the ACC. BC just needs a good look. One of their last 10. Tomlinson crossover. Athena fires. That's no good. Rebound Rivers. Tomlinson, good defense, and a foul on Tomlinson. Well, she got her hand in there cleanly, but a reach in.
And that's the type of aggressive energy that you want from Boston College, but you have to see how they're calling the game here. Sinai Rivers does a good job of keeping the ball away from her, but then you see Athena Tomlinson here touch in on that last second.
That's a body foul on Tomlinson. She'll sub out. Played some really good minutes against Duke. 20 minutes in that second half, and Coach Mack has to go deeper into her bench. What a luxury to have the second leading assist giver in the ACC off the bench today if you're Kayla Ivey. And if you're NC State, I know it's 27 points, but 2 of 7 from the line. I mean, that's dead last in the ACC. How do they improve on that number?
I mean, they say practice makes perfect. That's the only thing that you can do is just lock in when you're on the line. I mean, when it's a closer game in the ACC or even in the NCAA tournament, those are the type of shots that you have to knock down. That's free money right
You
there.
shot over 70% of your career from the free throw line. Certainly this club needs a little bit of help right there. BC on this end giving up a 12-2 run. Another rattle out 3. That was Andrea Daly. Had some good looks, but nothing falling from deep. 1 of 8. Outside of free throw shooting, the perfect first quarter here for NC State. Highest total of the year. Good defense by Njai. Clock to 7. An illegal pick on Mallory Collier, who just checked in.
If you're a coach, it's almost like you see that she's trying to set a screen. So can you really be upset with her? Or whose fault is that? Is it the guard's fault, or is it the post fault for really trying to get her teammate open?
You know, refs have made that a point of emphasis this year, so I couldn't tell you whose fault it is. Certainly Wes will keep tabs on that during the timeout.
I'm sure you over there knocked down the 3 off the fade, the Boosie fade.
Yeah, the St. Lawrence Martyr Redondo Beach YMCA League. Yeah, I was a great three-point shooter back in 8th grade with Kai Crutchfield and Evan Budrovich. Early on in ACC play, Wolfpack look impressive offensively. Here's Kayla Ivey getting a screen. Good dish. Shot fake. Todd 3. Air ball. And that's kind of been the story here for Boston College. 4 of 25 shooting.
And if I'm Todd there, I honestly might have just went ahead and shot it off the first one and instead of doing the step back. I mean, NC State is playing really close defense as they
2
they
seconds
actually
left.
are here with the
Hold on, James. Rare miss. Hate to cut you off, Kai, but the Wolfpack continue to light it up offensively.
Offensively, NC State has been crashing and going crazy. You have Sanaya James with the long bounce pass into the layup from Isaiah James. NC State up 28-9.
Welcome back to Raleigh, where the NC State offense absolutely cooking. That's the most first quarter points, 28 all season for the Pack. And Kai, it truly starts with transition options.
it goes off of the field goal percentage, too. They have a lot of points in the paint, shooting 11 for 16 right now from the field and 3 from 4 from the 3. They're really being efficient with their passing, with the basketball IQ, and they're spreading the love all around.
Sanaya Rivers really got things started. 9 quick points. How do you find some good minutes here if you're Boston College in the second?
Finding a rhythm offensively and just going with the flow, but being aggressive, being more aggressive on offense. They've taken great shots, but they're just not falling.
There's a steal for Rivers, looking for double figures. Rivers to the bucket. Another friendly bounce. She's got 11. With Rivers playing at this level, we see what Hannah Hidalgo, Tanaya Latson in the ACC can do as elite scorers shoot. Latson put up 40 this week. Where's Rivers rank among the best guards in the conference? I
definitely think she's up there. I mean, this game, she's really starting to show her growth and her confidence as we are in conference play now. But I like to see her be, she's doing both sides, but also facilitating as well. I mean, she's grown from that from the beginning of this season. I can't wait to see her grow more.
Rivers is yet to miss a shot today. She has 5 rebounds, a couple of assists. And there's been times Wes Moore's challenged her to be more offensive-minded. Well, in this first quarter, she took it to the full speed.
Oh, yeah, she took it to heart at that. I mean, matter of fact, she took it personally. And, I mean, it's almost like, it seems like a lot of the points that have been scored, the ball has started or has been in her hands in that possession.
Entered the year preseason first-team all-conference, but putting up an All-American type of game today. As James enters the lane, a lot of contact and a bucket for Zion.
It takes a lot of focus to know that there's a defender right there willing to take a charge, and you still go up strong like that with the floater.
I mean, NC State shooting 73% in this first half. Those are video game numbers. Here's Tiana Todd off on the 3. Kayla Ivey the board. Ivey in year 5, an elite distributor of the rock in her 99th career game. Here's a drive. Nice look, and that one goes home. Tiana Todd to the bucket. Tiana Todd now 800 career points. And there's free throws coming up.
I'm sure that's a breath of fresh air for Boston College. Tiana Todd stretching out those 2 steps and finishing with the contact. She's averaging her career high at 11.9 points per game, shooting at 45%. And Boston College just needs her to continue to be aggressive on offense.
When BC's won big games in the non-con, it was Todd. She's shooting at nearly 50% for 3. But that adjustment to go from being a sniper to a driver, that does take something for a player, right?
Yeah, it does, but then you also have to think, I still have that other aspect in me, so you need to be able to put those 2 together and then show them when they're playing a game like this against NC State.
And that's where Caitlin Clark at Iowa last year developed. An elite 3-point shooter, but as she became more offensive-minded, that's where Iowa went to a national title. I think for players in the ACC, if you have one skill set and you really get into it, that's where someone like Todd can be electric. NC State back to the line where they're 3 of 8 today. Coming up, we have an ACC Network women's basketball quadruple header next week, and a lot of top 25 teams. Duke, who just dominated Pitt today, takes on Virginia. Number 17, Carolina, is in a battle with Notre Dame right now. They take on BC. Followed by Georgia Tech, the hottest team in the league, and Louisville, and then Miami and Syracuse to wrap up the festivities. It's a Sunday fun day in the ACC, part of a big day today with Notre Dame, UNC battling it out. Notre Dame has the lead in the 4th quarter. We'll see if Hidalgo and company can pull that one out. Here's Kayla Ivey. Good shot fake. There are no easy looks today for the Eagles. So Todd goes 1v1. Todd to the bucket, and a foul on James. It might be an iso ball kind of game for BC today.
Taking advantage on that 1-to-1 play. And NC State in the past has done a good job of closing in those gaps, getting a foot in the paint, and making sure that they help on those containers there. You see Trigger thinks that she's about to pass it out to her defender, her player out in the corner, but instead Todd takes it in to try to knock down these 2 free throws.
So James will sub out with that first foul. And there's Tiana Todd coming off the bench for the first time this year. Having an elite scoring year. You noted it, 12 points a game. Today has 8. And here's Devin Quigley into the game for NC State, true freshman out of Manchester, New Jersey. Quigley only played a handful of minutes Sunday against Clemson. And now Quigley dribbling for her life. Rivers, no problems here in Raleigh today, and Rivers back to the free throw line.
Rivers is really doing a great job at attacking the paint and attacking the basket. Eventually, someone's going to have to step in on that weak side or strong side to help in on the drive, and then she probably will look for that open defender or that open player for NC State on the three-point line.
To your point, a couple of assists for Rivers, and then in that first 5 minutes, I mean, that was one of the best stretches of basketball you're going to see.
And it's all led by Sanaya Rivers.
However, the free throw shooting, 5 of 11 as a team today. You don't see many games where teams set program records for first quarter points and then can't buy a bucket from the charity stripe. Wes Moore, the second active winningest coach now in college basketball. His club is absolutely cooking offensively. Good drive, and Todd misses. Loose scrum to Zoe Brooks. Brooks surveying the land. Leader in assists for the Pack. Finds Rivers. Good matchup on Savannah Samuel, the Oregon State transfer. Inside to Trieger. Back out. Hayes 3. Air ball. Quigley the board. Clock did not reset. Rivers heaves from the Wolf. Hayes the board.
It's a little bit of a mismatch there in the paint with Trigger.
Pack electing to drive, and Brooks gets her own rebound. Zoe always plays well above her frame at 5'7". Clock to 2. Hayes can't get it off, and that's an offensive foul. I will say the minutes from Tiana Todd have been really impressive today.
She's trying to be that spark off the bench. I mean, you don't see a lot of other Boston College players kind of stepping up on that offensively. She does step in here, and she's way outside of that arc to be able to take that charge for Boston College.
Todd played for her U18 national team in Canada this summer. Has shown some good signs in this first half. 8 points, couple of charges. Here's Taya Sidbury calling glass on a Sunday.
Sidbury last season led the team in scoring with 13.6 and also in rebounding. I like to see her get a little more active here on the boards.
And when Sidbury played the Pack last year, she had 18. That was a big effort in the second half as Rivers cannot be stopped. How about her presence all up and down the court?
Her length and her size advantage playing at the guard. I mean, she's playing at the wing, she's playing at the point guard, and getting some steals for the Wolfpack.
And here comes Todd back and forth.
Todd is really pleading her case right now for Boston College.
Todd has never been on an all-ACC team, but this type of performance, that'll open some voters' eyes. I say that as a voter on the ACC all-weekly team, but it catches attention, certainly.
There you go.
Rivers said, wait for me, I'm going to go again to the bucket. A rare miss for Sanaya. Now a chance for Andrea Daly to push tempo. Brooks, hands in the pocket, and a foul. Oh, pardon me, a foul on Boston College, the wraparound on Daly.
And that's good defense from Zoe Brooks, just to put a little bit of pressure on her, make her a little bit nervous, and cause that offensive foul.
If you're Coach Mack, where do you find a solution here in the second quarter?
I'm saying Todd, get the ball in her hands, figure out how she can attack the basket, and then eventually Boston College is going to knock down some shots, getting in those passing lanes on defense and then stopping that drive.
So with Rivers on the bench, it's James' show. Good matchup in the paint. Njai versus Trieger. So James goes attack mode, hangs, that's no good. Rebound, Quigley. Quigley got away with a few steps there and hits it.
Hey, that's a big body. You see Isaiah James over there flexing for her. You like to see that from the freshman, getting dirty in the paint and putting it up with that offensive board.
Taya Sidbury's missed a couple of point-blank looks. She's 1 of 7 today. Brooks, meanwhile, 100 miles an hour. Good block. Loose ball. Sidbury taps it, looks to save it, and earns possession. Pardon me. Officials overruled, stays here. And we'll take the timeout. What a start for Sanaya Rivers.
Sanaya Rivers has done a great job all around for NC State, whether it's getting in the passing lanes, getting those steals, and knocking down, and maybe even posting up somebody here in the paint. Other than that, NC State has done a great job with Sanaya Rivers' help.
Welcome back to Reynolds Coliseum. It's a red-hot start for NC State, led by Sanaya Rivers, who's playing at all ACC caliber level today. It's interesting in the non-conference, not as offensive-minded, just 11 points a game, and today she's turned it on.
She's turned it on not just a little bit, but a lot. I mean, what Coach Moore might have said to her earlier about her offensive presence, she's definitely taken that personally. I mean, 5 for 7 from the field, the efficiency of that, and not to mention 3 steals. If just being a little nitpicky here and just growing on her game as we get into conference play, I like to see that assist-to-turnover ratio turn around just a little bit more.
It was 2 years ago. Rivers was the 6th player of the year in the league. Now she has a chance to be among one of the best 3 in the conference with Hidalgo and Latson. As James throws it off glass, such a creative finish.
Crafty. She almost reminds you of Ja Morant in a way.
Yeah, the way she can hang and be so athletic, too. Here on this end, Tatum Green comes back in. Her in the start today for BC. Boston College, 1 of 9 from deep, struggling to get anything in transition. Njai was 7. Spins on Trieger, then held her foot. Maddie Cox defensively, and Brooks holds on to that dribble. Grimacing as she got away with it there.
Oh, yeah. If you can fall down, dribble, and then throw the ball behind your head. I mean, talk about that Hannah Hidalgo pass from half court to Olivia Miles.
That's what makes Notre Dame so dangerous. The guard play is elite right now.
Isaiah James has done a good job offensively throughout the year. She scored her 1,000 point not too long ago here. You see here she has the hezzy look up with the hang time finish. I don't know, that's not a jelly. There has to be another name for that.
Sticking it like butter, maybe?
Maybe. That sounds a lot. That sounds. You should trademark that, Evan.
We'll have to talk about that one later. Kayla Ivey to the free throw line. The Forestville, Maryland product, who tore her ACL 2 years ago, has done a nice job coming back. Now over 5 assists a game. That's second in the ACC.
Rivers returning to the Wolfpack lineup.
Ivey today's been held in check. No points, no assists. She gets her first point there. She's foul shooting a 3 as well. As BC's been perfect from the line. Started the year 8-1 overall. Really good non-conference slate. But then lost back-to-back games here to Louisville and Duke. What a dime from Rivers, and doing everything right. 4 assists.
That's the court vision that you continue on to grow on if you're Sanaya Rivers and Maddie Cox running that floor as she sees Boston College players just jogging back on defense.
17 transition points. And we're in the first half. What an impact, Kai.
Transition points is what NC State feeds off of. Their pace and them relying heavily on that guard play.
That's what's allowed Tennessee to lead the country in scoring, all in transition. As Rivers plays to James. More transition looks, but that one no good. Ivey, beautiful pass. Sidbury, no good. And Todd draws the foul. Now I want to talk about that Kayla Ivey pass along with a Sanaya pass. We've got some elite passers today.
Hey, Kayla Ivey looks like she could have been a quarterback. I mean, she dropped that dime right where it needed to be. And Sanaya Rivers looking at Maddie Cox here as Maddie Cox runs in transition. And then Ivey throws that from almost the 3-point line and drops it right at the block where it needs to be. Now, Boston College, is she shooting 2 or? I'm not sure. Is she shooting?
That's more like Castellanos, the Boston College quarterback, than Kayla Ivey. As our officials explaining who the foul's on. Ashley Goody explaining that call with Cam Inouye and Jeff Wooten.
Trigger returning for the Wolfpack. Going to the line is number 32, Taya Sidbury.
Officials now checking the DVR sport for possible clock question. And they're confirming who the foul's on. Let's
The previous play is under review to find the shooter.
Evan, would you ever be a referee?
You know, I was a baseball umpire growing up, and the amount of things you hear from parents, no thank you.
30 black is a shooter.
Yeah, okay, so Todd was touched on the way down. Yeah, Tiana Todd to the free throw line. Man, Boston College just can't buy a bucket today. 20% shooting. Have been good from the free throw line, but otherwise not much falling in.
They can also take advantage of NC State's aggression if they already have 5 fouls. So those, for the rest of the quarter, they're going to be able to get to that free throw line.
Here comes a double team. James breaks it. No look to Traeger, and the passing's been spot on.
I love to see the smiles on NC State's face as they're continuing to build that chemistry here.
They're dropping dimes like Joe Burrow for the Bengals this year. Could be an MVP candidate. There's a bucket for Tiana Todd. Oh my goodness, there's a Josh Allen type pass. James the other way as Traeger unfortunately goes down. Traeger gets back up. Here's Sidbury driving in. Maddie Cox the board. And now they'll stop play.
When you're an injured player, is there some type of rule where if you don't get up after a certain period of time, then you have to stop the play, or is it after your team gets the ball back?
Oh yeah, she got stepped on.
Looks like it might be an ankle roll after she got stepped on too.
So Maddie Cox will come in. And then Lacey Steele will also enter. First minutes for the Edmond, Oklahoma product. A rare look into Westmore's bench with no Zam Jones, still unavailable with a wrist injury. Rivers dropping dimes all night. She's sprinting back, and Quigley can't hit it. Boston College needs a couple of points here before halftime. This is Tiana Todd. Here's Tomlinson. Oh, slick lefty can hit it. That's the nickname Kobe Bryant called her back in the day. And a good look for the three-point shooter.
Kobe said that she has a great work ethic and that Mamba mentality.
She played alongside the Bryant family growing up in California. And Athena making an impact here for BC. James gets the switch from Kay Yao's name herself. What a shot here at Kay Yao court.
She said it right back at you. Hey, I can do it too.
A couple of sweet shooting lefties here in college basketball. And now a steal. Uh-oh, Rivers holding her shoulder. I think Sanaya's okay. Crossover, jumper, perfection.
Hey, you come in and you grimace like that, and you come back down and say, oh yeah, it's my turn.
After two lefties putting on a show, the best player on the court today has been Sanaya Rivers. Tomlinson. She's got a sweet J from that left side. Tomlinson again, no good. Loose scrum. Goes the other way.
You have to also look at the height difference in Sanaya Rivers guarding Athena Tomlinson. I mean, Sanaya Rivers has those long arms, but that's a little bit of a reach there for her with dribbling from Athena.
Athena Tomlinson subs out after some good minutes. She ran the start today, her second career start. That was the first since the Holy Cross game. And that was all the way back before Thanksgiving. Been the Sanaya Rivers show here in Raleigh. Ending the half with the basketball. Kicks to Maddie Cox. No good on the three. And a foul on Quigley, reaching over Savannah Samuels. So free throws here for Boston College.
I like to see that Quigley is attacking those offensive boards, but if you feel like you're not in that position to get that rebound, just go ahead and get yourself back and get into a better position in transition defense.
Savannah Samuel, who due to transfer rules had to sit out last year from Oregon State, but now making an impact. It was her third school in 3 years with West Virginia mixed in. Now the 85th career game for Samuel. Takes advantage 1 of 2. Closing seconds with Quigley. Back to Rivers. Gets to the half-court line. That is off in time, in fact, but it won't count. What a first half here for NC State. 50 points offensively.
State has done a great job of facilitating and doing what they do best. That's playing with pace and playing together, showing that chemistry and their confidence that they've had coming off of this Christmas break. And Sanaya Rivers, how about it? Sanaya Rivers has done a great job offensively and even on defensively with those steals.
Couldn't have drawn up a better 20 minutes if you're Wes Moore. His team dropping dimes all night. 11 first half assists. When we come back, we'll have more for halftime with Justin Walters and Ivory Lotta after this break here on the ACC Network Extra. High-scoring first half for Reynolds Coliseum. 33rd all-time matchup. And number 22 NC State off and running offensively. They scored 28 points in the first quarter, which is the most they had done all year in a first quarter. And around the ACC, we're in week 2 now of conference play, and there's already some trends picking up. One, Notre Dame's one of the best teams in the country, holding off UNC late. And then two, it's interesting, Kai, the dominance of Duke really beat down Boston College Thursday, and another impressive defensive performance.
You like to see these teams make a statement. I mean, there's different instances where teams are ranked at a certain place preseason conference play, but seeing that, like you said, those trends that come up during these games as we started conference play. I mean, top 3 in the ACC, I like to see where they end up here at the end of conference.
Congrats to Virginia Tech on its first conference win. And here in the conference standings, the surprise darling is Georgia Tech. Danny Carnegie's been elite for the Yellow Jackets this year. Is there any team in this list you think is the most dangerous of the bunch?
I'd say Notre Dame. I mean, you think about the dynamic duo in the backcourt, Hannah Hidalgo and Miles. I mean, just them together, they're just electric. They bring their team into each game, and they just have to continue to have fun. 6
ranked teams in the ACC. It's a fun time of year. It's also fun to have a little stuff-a-tuffy alongside here in Raleigh. Great atmosphere on a Sunday. We'll come back with more halftime when we return. Welcome back to NC State. Number 22 Wolfpack off and running. Highest scoring first half of the year for the Pack. They've been electric offensively. Thanks for joining us here on this great Sunday for college hoops with an all-ACC champ and Kai Crutchfield. I'm Evan Budrovich. Okay, if you're putting up 50 points and a half, what's been clicking for the Wolfpack today?
The transition offense has been clicking. I mean, they have maybe more than half of their points with transition offense. And then Sanaya Rivers, that NC State Wolfpack team has done a great job at facilitating the ball and being where she needs to be, knocking down those jumpers, the mid-range, and attacking the basket, attacking the boards. You see here, she goes up for the spin, just being where she needs to be and on the defensive passing lanes, jumping the gaps, and getting transition points for NC State Wolfpack. She's done a great job all around, and I can't wait to see what she does to the rest of the conference.
16 points for Rivers, and James not too far behind her. It's been effective in the second quarter.
Isaiah James is just a sniper, all-around playmaker. She does a great job of facilitating on top of her just looking like she wants to jump over people. She has great hang time when she attacks the basket, knows where she wants to be, and gets to her sweet spots.
That guard combo, 32 combined points. They've outscored Boston College in the first half. Tiana Todd's been a bright spot for BC, but if you're in these next 20 minutes, what do you want to see if you're Wes Moore in the second half?
That consistency, continue to see that chemistry and urgency. I wouldn't be surprised if he went a little deeper and switched up some of the lineup just a little bit to see, just in case as we get down the line in conference play.
Second half underway. NC State dominated BC last year in Chestnut Hill. It was Boston College who pulled the upset. Their last ranked win was 2 years ago over NC State here in Raleigh. A much different start today as Zoe Brooks misses the jumper. Athena Tomlinson with the board. She is an electric freshman guard. Nice dish. Back to Tomlinson. The 5'5" lefty making it happen, but a miss there. I just love undersized guards. It always makes me smile.
And the undersized guards is like they just, they're so low to the ground. When you go for a steal, you have to make sure you got it. You have to make sure you got it. I don't know, 5'5" may be generous.
Well, think about Muggsy Bogues for the Charlotte Hornets for so long. He was electric moving the basketball. It's not all about size, too. That heart can certainly matter.
Oh, yeah. My old teammate, Reina Perez, is one of those people.
Won a couple ACC titles here. And then Athena's got a star sticker on her face. If you saw some of that, there's team stickers for Boston College today. You got to shine bright like a diamond. Or as Margot Robbie would say, you got to be who you want to be. Isaiah James into her Barbie bag, putting on the pink sneakers and drawing an early foul.
Eagles foul, number 10.
If you're Coach Moore, you want to be able to see Isaiah James stay consistent, as she's done some fluctuating as far as, efficiency with those ACC teams, and you want to give her a break too. When you get to the ACC tournament, you're going to be playing 3-4 games in a row. You want to be able to go into that bench and trust the people on their bench so that she can get a little bit of a breather.
To your point, ACC champions the last 7 years, they've all been the top 4. That's the double bye. So if you want to win a tournament, you got to have a nice seeding in the ACC.
And that's what State's working to for right now. I mean, you have Notre Dame so far with Georgia Tech and Duke. Those are very good teams and top contenders, and they have yet to play each other here in conference play.
There's a bucket for Dontavia Wagner. The good news, Duke will play Georgia Tech in 2 weeks, and NC State will take on Cal and Stanford next week before facing Notre Dame at the start of February. That 3 rattles out. Defensive board. Taya Sidbury's coming off the bench today. Has it picked again. Brooks juggling. No look, Brooks. Rivers into traffic, and I mean, this guard connection's been electric today.
Hey, there's a little bit of some tang, some spice to that nickname there. No look Brooks. I like that, Evan.
You had no look Brooks. You had Salsa Verde James dancing out there today, or maybe more of a shimmy, depending on your generation. As Wagner's off on the 3. Then you have Fireball Rivers. No way. Come on, Sanaya Rivers. I mean, this passing is outstanding.
I'm surprised you didn't say it like fireball. Zoe Brooks coming down the court here with that no-look pass here to Sanaya Rivers. And you like to see the way that they're sharing the ball just in transition offense. Then you have Sanaya Rivers here to Zoe Brooks. Hey, that's the back-to-back there. And she said, I got you, and then she said, I got you back.
Think back to the 90s, the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird commercials where they would shoot for McDonald's, and it was the half-court shot, then it was shooting from the rafters, the passes that would ricochet off the board. That's what we're seeing today, literally in the game from this NC State passing.
Oh, yeah, and can't forget about the shorts, the length of the shorts, too. We've added that to our game as well.
Now, these women are passing the ball at an electric rate, 12 assists for NC State. And it's the creativity of the passes, too, I think, that make it. You talk about the growth of the women's game. The passing has picked up so much the last 5 years.
You have to be extremely fundamental to be able to get to those passing lanes and know when to pass it, because you can't pass it where they are, but you have to pass it where they're going.
That pass sets up a 3, and James misses. Boston College looking for a spark here in the second half. So Tomlinson drives in. Battles Brooks, and that's how you do it, off the window. Old school like Tim Duncan.
You like to see her, as you mentioned, her size, just not being afraid to get down there into the paint, absorb some contact, and get the ball in the bucket.
One of 4 freshmen here for Boston College, all getting major minutes. No look Brooks, air balls. Have not seen many of those today from NC State, shooting at 52%. What's the mindset like when you're up this big of a figure in the second half? And better yet, how do you keep that mindset?
Try not to relax and stay urgent on offense and defense. Continue to keep the tempo, keep the pace. And then, got a great pass there.
Wow, that was hard collision between Trieger and Samuel. Free throws here for State.
And with a big collision like that, you like to see both players really get up. You know, Sanaya Rivers coming up here, and then Trieger's done a great job at running the paint and running into the basket here for NC State.
Speaking of young freshmen, Tilda Trieger earning her second career start for the Pack.
And for the Wolfpack, number 42, Maverick, check that. Not yet. Trieger on the line.
Andrea Daly re-enters for Boston College. And Trieger's put up some nice minutes. If you're Wes Moore in this rotation of forwards, how has Trieger earned your confidence here in January?
Being where she needs to be, being a presence in the paint. I mean, on a lot of the dishes and a lot of her points, she's just running hard, playing hard, and putting it up. I mean, she's gotten an and one, she's gotten 2 or maybe 3 points in transition, and then being a presence on defense. I'm not sure that she's been scored on this game.
Yeah, Trieger's been electric, especially in that you think about all the guards that NC State has. They need a post presence. And Trieger's earned her worth today. This is Tiana Todd working down low. Andrea Daly, who's called Ray Ray, puts her bag to work. Good bucket.
Andrea Daly.
Now that hair color is more of a maroon. It's a maroon and gold
I think so.
for Boston College, whereas Rivers is more of that NC State red.
Yeah, it's a vibrant red, vibrant red.
Technically, it's a Wolfpack red. I
Oh, there you go.
On the website, red and black. Here's Madison Hayes picking up where she left off last week, another three. Uh-oh, and an injured player here. Oh, and that's the ankle of Kennedy Jackson.
You never want to see a player go down like that and grab anything. I mean, you don't want to see anybody hurt.
Especially non-contact. There comes Coach Mack to check on her transfer forward, Kennedy Jackson.
Getting big body, big body. Oh, I see a little tweak there after Mallory Collier. You like to see them hustling and tussling in the paint there, but it seems to be very much so unintentional contact there from Mallory Collier.
Jackson has been a great addition from an emotional standpoint. Her mom just overcame breast cancer earlier this year. She's been a great emotional leader, Kennedy Jackson. We hope she's okay. And she'll get treated by the athletic training staff. So in comes Taya Sidbury here for BC. Andrea Daly, who's a great three-point shooter, but held in check today. BC is a team just 2 of 14. So that works inside, and Sidbury rolls it out. Good fight on the boards, but it stays with NC State. That's the energy and aggression Boston College needs more of today.
And they've done that throughout the game. It's just they just haven't been able to knock down those shots. And the aggression and the patience that they had in that possession, followed by a knockdown shot, that gets the tempo up. That gets the spark going for Boston College.
Madison Hayes, good shot fake, and she'll draw more free throws. The evolution of Hayes' offensive game, this is game 110 of her career. Great defender, we've noted her energy and tenacity, but this year as a senior has found more of her offensive game.
She's just like that blue-collar worker doing what she needs to do for NC State. In that situation, Coach Moore called her number. She went in for the ISO, absorbed the contact, and a couple plays before that, she knocked down a three. So it's great to see that her game has expanded not only from the defensive aspect, when she had the mouthpiece, you can't forget about that, to now being able to knock down a three and being an offensive presence for State.
Here's Madison Hayes in her final year making a big impact for the Pack. Savannah Samuel with the basketball. Has it lost, and here's Sanaya Rivers. Numbers for the Pack if they want it. Whoop, just ahead of target. With all the creativity of passing, you can see those teammates just a bit off on the timing there.
Well, meanwhile, Rivers and James are smiling. Coach Moore is not so happy about that.
He was chuckling with the first row there. He had some words for the fans. Great home support here in Raleigh. Another near sellout for NC State.
And how about the sellout now for women's basketball in general? Just how the sport has grown and seeing a lot more people in the fans. It's heartwarming.
Final Four being on ABC the last 2 years has been electric. I do wonder if South Carolina could win 3 straight. That's the big question right now.
That is a big question.
Malaysia Fulwilly's been. Another bucket for Madison Hayes.
And a great pass by Sanaya Rivers.
Who do you think has the best chance of beating South Carolina this year?
I would say I like to see Notre Dame play South Carolina, but here we go going into break. NC State continuing to take the lead and grow on what they've done in the first half.
Welcome back to Raleigh. It's a busy time here in college basketball. We continue with a triple header. Florida State, Clemson get things started in the Tobacco Road rivalry. Carolina and NC State coming up this Saturday. And then Virginia Tech heads all the way out to Cal. Fun afternoon on the ACC Network. You can watch all of those games on the ESPN app. And speaking of local ties, NC State, UNC, they're always fun when these two match up. And of course, last year's game was for all the marbles for NC State. They needed that win to get to the tournament. leading to a Final Four run. I'll be curious this year how it unfolds here on Saturday.
I'd be curious too. I mean, that's a rivalry that goes way, way back, and it's always a packed house out here. And when you get into these lines, even if you're friends outside the court, it does not matter. You put on that jersey. If you wear blue, I don't know you.
Carolina hit a game-winning 4-point shot over Notre Dame over the weekend, and the Pack are looking to find their sea legs here in the ACC. But anytime that rivalry cooks up, the records don't really matter. Early in this third quarter, it's been all NC State from the jump. They had 28 first quarter points. As Zoe Brooks enters the lane, little no look to Maddie Cox, and she has it stripped, but a late foul on Savannah Samuel. If this offense is playing at this type of level, how dangerous can NC State be?
NC State, as long as they continue to do what they're supposed to do offensively and add that defensive aspect to it as well, when they get deeper into the conference play and even into NCAA play, they can be really unstoppable.
We have a question from the officials here. Looks like they're going to add some time back on the clock.
Evan, who's your top 4 favorite as of now coming out of the ACC?
Oh, top 4.
Top 4. So
that's a lot of teams. I'm a Florida State fan. I do love Tania Latson and MK Timpson.
Okay.
I think this NC State team's pretty dangerous. The way they're shooting. Okay, let's see. 2, 3. We know to Notre Dame with their ability. And Duke defensively. I mean, you're holding Pitt to 31 points.
Right.
Now I'm team defense. I mean, I think of last year, Syracuse with Georgia Woolley and basically a team of transfers. They finished 3rd in the league, and that was not expected. Same thing with Georgia Tech this year.
Oh, yeah. Then you have Cal and Stanford also, ACC West Coast teams.
The All-Coast Conference.
There you go.
I say that jokingly, but you know what I mean. Boston College at 1-2 in the league. Nice win over Virginia, but 2 tough losses. Louisville win that game real tight, but Duke, a dominant second quarter, outscored BC 18-2 as Kayla Ivey misses the 3, and here's Sanaya Rivers adding to her gaudy stat line. Now a double-double for Rivers with the 10 boards. There's Madison Hayes, who's heated up in the second half. She's got 11. A lot of contact on that screen. Okay, that'll be on Dontavia Wagner, her first foul. Sorry, her 3rd foul.
You see Maddie Cox gets set there, setting that screen for Devin Cooley, but Dontavia Wagner is going to have to find a way around that instead of trying to run through Maddie Cox.
I don't know what Wes Moore said at halftime, but the free throw shooting's gotten better. 8 of 11 out of the break after missing 8 first-half free throws. Boston College gears up for another trip to the Carolinas. They'll play UNC this week and then head to Miami. Here's Dontavia Wagner facing her former team, and that shot not very close, but another foul. The hustle of Savannah Samuel caught for it. Oh, and then a technical foul added on to Samuel. She didn't like the foul call. And that's now the bonus. It's the 5th foul, so the rest of the way for State.
And if you're Samuel, that's something that you have to, I understand your frustration, but you just have to keep that in. I mean, even if it is just to hand the ball off to the ref and say something in your head, but when you get deeper into ACC play, those type of plays are going to make a difference with those type close games.
Technical foul and common foul.
Sanaya Rivers definitely gets banged up here as she goes for that board. Then you see in your corner, left corner, Samuels does slam that ball pretty hard. I mean, she does hand it off to the ref, but in that situation, let's take out, eliminate that ball slam.
That's what Coach Mack saying right there to her veteran, the senior. Plenty of learning moments for both these teams as we dive into the heart of January. The Pack will head to Cal and Stanford this week. Little California trip. Oh, head coach says, I want you to shoot the third one, too. You're going to fix these free throw woes, Sanaya. Or she's 5 of 8 today.
She smiled after the second one. Now she's trying to hype up the fans. Usually when you're shooting the free throw, you want them to be quiet.
Oh, there it is. Wes knew it. Because she gets the double free throw.
Yep.
So 4 attempts. Looking to the crowd, having a fun. When you got 20 and 11, you can enjoy these moments. And now she's prompting the crowd for more support. We're seeing a glimpse of why Sanaya Rivers is one of the best players in the country.
She's being able to just attack the basket, knock down open shots. She just has a knack for being clutch. I mean, being in that lane on defense, getting those steals, a double-double. At this point, I'd like to see her get a double-double throughout. Not saying that that's like super easy, but she can do it.
As Rivers inbounds it, Lorena Owu gets her first minutes. And it's Sanaya's 6th double-double of her career. Remember, Zoe Brooks had the first triple-double for NC State, and that was over 20 years. She picked that up early last season as a freshman. So Hayes blows by everybody, give her 13 points.
I like seeing Hayes in that high post position, being able to spread out the offense, but then also attack the basket.
Another 3 off. Rivers is 6 assists away from the triple-double. So Brooks goes no look to Rivers, and the transition game continues. I mean, 28 fast break points. That's almost Boston College's total.
That is right. That shows to see how dangerous State can be when they play at the pace that they're likely to play at.
Is this a pace you want to see them play come March?
I say yes, as long as it's controlled chaos. I mean, when it's controlled, I think that it's a good pace. But you also have to be able to slow down as Dagan quickly gets on the boards for NC State. I like to see them attack the basket, but then still be able to settle down in the offense and half court.
Tiana Todd with a nice 3. She's got 16 points. That snaps a Pack 11-0 run. So after an electric first half, season high of 50, 24 more points. Brooks kept her dribble somehow and gets the lucky roll.
It might have touched every piece of the rim on that bucket.
That's called around the world. You've played that growing up.
Oh, yeah. Had to start over a few times.
Did you play hopscotch, though?
Oh, yeah.
4 corners?
4 corners with any type of ball.
And then a drive to the bucket here for Tiana Todd, playing wall ball with herself.
You like to see how State's facilitating. You see the defenders here on that weak side, but Sanaya Rivers is also running on that strong side. Zoe Brooks sees her, gives her the no-look pass, and you like to see them celebrate here as NC State is up on Boston College. That's the energy that they have been playing with this entire game. I'm glad they've been able to string that together throughout the duration of this game.
That's a statement performance for Sanaya. Her double-double, and she'll sub out for the rest of the quarter. Lost in the shuffle. Tiana Todd has been carrying the load for BC, 16 and counting. It might not be enough today, but that is something to build on if you're Coach Mack. Little small guard matchup, Brooks versus Tomlinson. Tomlinson right in her grill. I love that defense. Now takes the steal assignment. Brooks is just playing out there right now.
You like how Zoe Brooks is so calm and collected as she's playing with that aggressive defense from Tomlinson.
There's a reach in on the shot for Tiana Todd. Her expression never really changes too. That's what always blows my mind with Brooks. His expression does change.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen his face a little bit redder though.
It certainly helps when your team's up 38. There's Wes Moore, who's nearing 850 wins in his career. He's got 841 at the moment.
That's pretty daggone good.
Wes is second active behind Gino for women's basketball victories. I know it's lost in the shuffle, but Tiana Todd is really carrying the load here for BC. And a charge drawn by Dontavia Wagner.
Wolfpack foul number 35, Zoe Brooks. Her third and fourth on the team.
Dontavia has been a little bit quiet here in this game today. But as a team, I'm sure they're not playing as Coach Mack would like them to be playing. As Todd tries to knock it down from 3, it falls a little bit short.
That's been the story from deep. 3 of 19 today. As Todd is within 2 points of her season best. We told you State set a point record for a first quarter. They have matched that in the third quarter. 28 more points. A chance to add to it here with a Wu. Little face up. That's no good. Quigley tip drill, no. And that bounces out to end another high-scoring third quarter.
I love the aggressiveness from Quigley here on the offensive boards. But then you have to talk about Zoe Brooks, as she's been exceptional here in the second half. I mean, there's 3 players around here from Boston College. I love the way she absorbs the contact and aggressive on offense. NC State has done a great job at improving their offensive efficiency, and they said sharing is caring around here. The players are doing a lot better with facilitating the ball, getting those open opportunities, looking for the better shot selection, and the assist to turnover ratio isn't too bad either. They're doing a good job of doing all these things in transition, and not only in transition, but the half court as well. I'd love to see NC State continue to build on this as we go further into the conference.
The Pack as a team only averaged 12 assists a game, but today they've clearly made a nice jump, and it started in that first half, dominating, moving the ball.
And moving the ball comes from not being stagnant on offense. Cutting, passing and cutting on that weak side, setting screens for your teammates to get open. Devin Quigley here with the steal. Euro step with the and 1. With the cheese.
It's the Quigley show.
There you go.
Learning from her guard veterans that are enjoying it.
You see, she jumps that pass there, the handoff. I love how she's sticking with her MJ tongue out the whole time. Comes up with the N1. I love to see that she's smiling, as she hasn't gotten many minutes here in this game, but she's taking those minutes to her advantage.
So Quigley's got 7 points. 8 different players have scored for the Pack. A lot more balance than what we've seen early in conference. That shot rattles out for Andrea Daly. One of the more dominant offensive games you're going to see from NC State this year. Here's Mallory Collier spinning in the lane. That one rolls out. Good to see Kennedy Jackson back in the game for Boston College. Went out with an ankle injury late in the quarter. And then a foul in the paint for Athena Tomlinson. Pardon me, on NC State 0, Devin Quigley. Oh, you got to double knot those shoes.
Oh, yeah.
You can't let the laces slip and slide. That's like in Like Mike when he loses the Jordan shoes and he can't make any buckets. Staples Center was never the same without Mike. Here's Jackson. Her kicks are a bit off. Rebound Brooks. Think about that. You find shoes on top of a light pole, and then you become the best player in the world.
With amazing ability to bounce, to dunk at what? I would give him maybe 5'5", Athena Tomlinson height.
That's why Mike's the best player in the world. Michael Jordan, no doubt about it. Zoe Brooks ready to rock and roll here. She's been more of a passer here in ACC play. 6 assists a game. Today, though, she's got 10 rebounds, 5 more assists. Collier doing the dirty work. Here's Steele.
That's great inside-out game by NC State. Collier feels that she's on that high side, and then sees that Lacey Steele is open on the wing. But you see, I'm not sure, that might have been on a foul on Lacey. She tries to be a little aggressive there in the gap in the passing lane, but in that situation, just try to get down into a good stance and cut off that baseline or wherever that person's trying to attack.
Boston College searching for some confidence heading into a tough matchup with UNC on Thursday. Daly is doubled. Tomlinson saves it out of bounds. And now we'll play some hoops.
I don't know. You said out of bounds. I thought you were going to say I'm ready.
I was going to catch and shoot that if I needed to.
Go.
You never know when duty calls. See, you got to have the hands ready to shoot, ready to rock.
He was ready. He was ready.
Well, you were more the shooter. I was more the passer growing up.
Oh, there you go. That was your time to shine, though, Evan.
Like Mike, I just didn't step up in the moment. With Kai Crutchfield and Evan Budrovich, all NC State today. '83 points on Sunday for the Pack. They're going to surpass that later today. Here's Athena Tomlinson. Tomlinson, a little step through. That's no good. I do love her game as a true freshman.
She just plays with such heart and urgency. I mean, that's why Kobe Bryant said that she has that Mamba mentality. I mean, even for her size, she doesn't care about how big the person she's guarding is. She's going to always play hard and tough.
Here's an illegal pick on Collier. This is a Boston College team, although picked near the bottom third of the league coming in, looked really good against Virginia. And a team that Coach Mack said, we got to find some toughness, right? We got to play better than what people expect of us. And they showed it against Louisville, losing a tough one at home, but just not enough today.
And the urgency is something that she wanted to see more of against their game against Duke here. Not too far from NC State, but, you know, seeing those veteran guards step up a little more. I mean, she had a different matchup or different lineup here in this game, maybe trying to switch it up a little bit, but I'm curious to see what this next game is going to look like from them and what they're going to learn from this game.
From 5 wins to 7 wins to 8 wins in the ACC, there's been a lot of growth for BC. So right now, willing to drop to 1-3 unless something really changes here in the next 7 minutes. Then Njai returns for the Eagles. Njai lets it fly, and that one rattles home. 4-3 for the Eagles.
I like to see Boston College really settle in here on their offense. You don't want to, you know, it is a big scoring gap, but you still want to focus on what you can focus on and how you've been playing throughout this conference play.
Devin Quigley nearing double figures herself. She'd be the 5th Pack player to have 10 or more. Here's a steal for Brooks. Last year's state team, 6 players averaged 10 or more points. That was a big part of their Final Four run as Quigley comes up short. This year's team has 4 in double figures and 4 electric guards at that. Here's a miss, but Njai stepped out of bounds. A BC team that's been really good at home this year, 8-1. And for whatever reason, even Coach Matt couldn't earhole this one. Just not the same offensively on the road. And
that's where that confidence and that chemistry comes in, finding their rhythm. I mean, they have a lot of players that are able to score one-on-one and have high field goal percentages, but being able to string all that together.
Here's Dontavia Wagner. Now a 3 for Taya Sidbury, and the threes are starting to fall here in the 4th quarter. A BC team that makes about 7 threes a game. Collier going down low. A new ACC high for the Pack, 87 points. Wagner on this end has the shot affected. A lot of hustle here from Boston College in the 4th. No quit as Ivy misses the 3.
Maddie Cox doesn't like that, but it's great hustle by her. I mean, being able to box out, let the ball hit the floor, that takes a lot of heart and hustle for her to get that. I'm sure Coach Moore would have liked for her to box out and grab it, but, you know, it's a learning lesson for everyone.
Both teams getting up a ton of shots as Tilda Trieger checks in. She'll earn the foul on Wagner. We think the last year's team where for NC State, 2 elite forwards that had 5 years of experience. Now it's been a young position in Trieger with another double-figure game today.
And Trieger's done a pretty good job. I mean, looking at how she was her first game and that improvement that she had here at NC State, I mean, it's big shoes to fill. And then I'm hoping as we get further into the conference, you know, other players like Mallory Collier is willing to step up in that post-play position.
This crowd wants free Chick-fil-A. They'll get it. And Dontavia Wagner, who played in Raleigh, knows what that means. Free chicken for everyone in attendance as Brooks is fouled. I think that's like 3 times in 4 games the fans go home with chicken.
I mean, if you can get free, I'm a foodie, so if there's any moment where there's free food involved, I'm taking all of that I can get.
Looked like the players got the memo too.
There you go.
There's Zoe Brooks sitting on now 10 points. So she becomes the 4th in double figures. As the packages match their season best in scoring. That was all the way back on November 21st before Thanksgiving. And here's the first minutes for Lily Krasovec, the product of Budapest. She attended high school nearby at Winston-Salem Christian, just across the state. Here's Tatum Green, who got her 2nd career start today, the Baltimore, Maryland product. Works it into Krasovec. Lily showing off her post moves. That one a bit strong, but Wagner there to clean it up.
That's such athleticism by Dontavia Wagner, being able to jump up. That's like the tip drill right there, out the glass, a pregame warm-up.
And your career started with Dontavia. What's impressed you about her growth from year 1 to now?
She's always played with energy and urgency. I'd say that offensive confidence. Her being able to stretch out not only by attacking the basket, she was more of a slasher when she was at State, but now expanding on her game and being able to knock down the mid-range and knock down the 3.
Wagner's been a big part of this Boston College success. 3-year starter now at BC. As Dontavia goes into her bag, and that's a bit short. Oh, Njai lost it off the knee. And that'll lead to immediate timeout. All NC State as they search for 100 points. Plenty more hoops when we return here in Raleigh. Miss Wolf's a happy camper here in Raleigh. Her Wolfpack are rolling. Up by 30 plus here at NC State. The popcorn's tasting good. The offense is rolling. Everybody's getting involved here if you're a fan of the Wolfpack. How do you explain this 89 points today for the Pack?
It's been, I mean, this may sound cliche, but it's been a team effort overall. I mean, everyone's getting into the play. Everyone's jumping the lanes. Everyone's facilitating. And they're sharing the ball. You love to see them share the ball and everyone be able to score regardless on if you're in the paint, knocking down the 3, knocking down the mid-range.
The Pack have not scored 100 points in 3 years. That was non-conference back in 2021.
I think I might know someone that was playing in 2021.
That was against St. Mary's. As Sinai Rivers spins around. It's a tough look late in the clock and a rare miss. Offensive board, Trieger. That's no good. Into the game now, Jacayla Thompson, the Louisville, Kentucky product. And a loose scrum. Jacayla jumps in there and a jump ball.
That was a pretty nice board there for Lacey Steele. Showing the ups a little bit.
You noted Westmore going to his bench today. Boston College, who had 3 new starters, 30 total bench points, because traditional starters, Tiana Todd and Andrea Daly, both came off the bench. Here's Sinai Rivers hanging on to it. Another no-look pass. That clock keeps ticking. 5 on the shot clock. And a good stop for Lily Krasovec. So if you're Boston College, these are 3 straight losses against tournament caliber teams. How do you regain form against UNC Thursday?
Watch film, see what the common denominator is as far as where things break down in the offense and where you can improve defensively, whether that's be more aggressive, you know, ice as she just did here on that side, and just regroup, find a rhythm with each other, even if it's something, you know, outside of the court, you know, team bonding, just to get that groove back together as a team.
Coach Mack's club, they got a tough stretch coming up. Carolina, Miami, and Notre Dame, 3 of the next 4 games, all tournament caliber teams. And as we've seen with Cal back in the top 25, sometimes those preseason polls don't tell you the whole story as Quickly banks one in. NC State will head to Cal and Stanford this week. And I heard leaving Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday game. That's a long trip.
You're familiar with California, aren't you?
Oh, the flight west is great. The flight east, that's a haul. Here's Tiana Todd having a career day, 20 points and counting, but that goes out of bounds. Her career high is 24. That was against Clemson last year in a road win. Krasovic into a triple team, and possession stays here. Boston College, who now must be the most popular team in the conference. New Balance is so popular these days as that 3 rolls out. You know, my dad used to have those 606s. We make fun of them for 10 years. Now everybody wants their New Balances.
Oh, yeah.
Jay-Z brought that back into style.
You have New Balances?
I actually don't. I'm always like 10 years off style.
I don't know. Maybe since you've seen all this New Balance being rocked around here, you might go get some, right?
See, New Balances were dad energy 10 years ago. Now it's the hottest thing. Every high schooler's got a pair of New Balances.
I see.
I mean, look at those kicks.
I'm guilty. I have a few.
Of course, because now New Balance is popular.
There you go.
Just take some pop culture and a little TikTok, and there you go.
I am not a TikToker, though. I'll take that out. I'm not a TikToker.
Adidas and New Balance matchup. It's all about the kicks when you're playing hoops.
Look good, feel good, right?
That's what Deion Sanders says. Quickly drives, and his son's about to be a #1 pick here in a couple months. NC State searching for the century mark here at home. And Quigley took a bit too many steps.
You can tell she was excited by that ISO there, but
Well, she
just go
watched
hard
Madison
to
Hayes
swim.
do it like 6 times today.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Hayes has double-figure points in the second half alone. It's a game of Where's Waldo with the Wolves just jumping around the student section. Tomlinson comes up short.
One minute remaining. 1 minute.
Steele runs a set to Trieger, and that one's lost, but it will stay here. Looks like Tilda Trieger's cemented herself in this starting lineup for State.
I agree with that. I mean, she's using her she's using her minutes well. You know, attacking the basket, being a big presence defensively, and just being where she needs to be for NC State.
On a day where Notre Dame put up a nice statement over Carolina with a big win, NC State putting up the highest offensive day of any team. Boston College about to drop to 1-3 in the league with Carolina coming up. And now there'll be 5 unbeatens left in the ACC. Oh, there's a 10-second call. Quickly lost track of the clock.
And that comes as a learning lesson. You know, as a freshman, you come in, you'd like to run some clock off the court, but the 10-second violation, that might be one of the OG rules in the rule book, huh?
This steal should secure it for NC State. Led for almost every second of the game, thanks to a dominant double-double from Sanaya Rivers, and this offense absolutely cooking. A new season high 91 for the now 3-0 Wolfpack in the ACC.
Sanaya Rivers has done a great job all around for this team, whether it's facilitating, knocking down the open shot, and getting to the rim, and with the steals. I like to see more of that as we get into conference play. You also have to take account into the rest of the guard play. And Tilda Chiguera, the freshman coming in, and as you said, possibly solidifying that post position here for NC State. I'm curious to see how they're going to continue to do as we go on to this season. Boston College has a tough stretch coming up here with the ACC and conference play. I would like to see how they get together with Coach Mack, watch film, break everything down, and use these past few games as a learning lesson.
14th straight home win for the Pack, now 3-0. Boston College gets ready for UNC. 6 in double figures, and none better than that woman dancing through the moonlight. 23 for Sanaya Rivers. It was a busy offensive day here in Raleigh. Thanks for joining us on ACC Network Extra. For Kai Crutchfield, our talented crew, Daniel Zolfel, producer, Lucas Raycraft, director, so many more. I'm Evan Budrovich. We'll see you next time from Raleigh as the Wolfpack, their highest scoring day of the year.